So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick. And plus, I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam, every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, Fijian military veterans from Britain's Christmas Island nuclear tests will be compensated by the government. Fijian Teachers Association removes General Secretary, and Education Ministry to provide education to child beggars who have been taken off the streets. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate, and this is FBC News. 23 veterans who were on Christmas Island in 1958 during nuclear testing will receive compensation from the government. Each veteran will receive over $9,000. Savara Tambo with more details.
It's been a long wait for veterans like 80-year-old Malelina Vangilevu of Koro. Their cries for a right to be compensated, which began in the 1990s, are now being heard.
I'm thankful to government for caring about us. It's after so many years since our voices are not heard regarding this issue. The current Prime Minister's father was leading us to that operation, and we are thanking him for the support.
The team tasked to take care of this matter has confirmed the first compensation payment will be made on Friday.
The priority to recipients are those whose the veteran who have passed on, and we are now focusing on the spouse and also the children, those dependents. Those dependents means to us are those who were born after the Christmas Island operations. So those who were affected, or those who have gone through the sufferings and of course the ailments over the years, those children will be classified under priority 2. While priority 3, those claimants who would also be, who have alleged that their parent had gone to Christmas Island, but that will go through a certain process.
A second payment will be made sometimes between February and September, while the third payment will be given at the last quarter of the year. Arrangements have been made to ensure all 23 veterans, including those living in the maritime and rural areas, also receive their compensation on time. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
The Fijian Teachers Association has terminated the services of its General Secretary, Maika Nanmundu. FTA President Ngana Halafaki says the termination was decided over the weekend based on legal advice they received. Maggie Boyle with the story.
Maika Nanmundu has been at the helm of the Fijian Teachers Association for more than 17 years. That all came to an abrupt end on the weekend, with the Executive Council terminating his employment.
We sent the result to our legal advisor, who also came up with his opinion during the full executive meeting. Is presented to the group, and from there the group or the full executive committee has decided that we terminate him on those grounds.
What were the grounds?
The grounds were the allegations that I told you earlier that came from one of our executives.
You terminated him on the legal advice that was given, or was at the end?
At the end of his presentation, we received his report, then we made the decision from his opinion.
So from the legal opinion, and your legal advisor carried out the investigation, from that you decided on termination?
Yes.
According to Halafaki, the writing was on the wall. Prior to his termination, Nanmundu was suspended, pending an investigation into allegations of improper conduct.
Also added on to that was the bad name that he made with our Council Pacific Educators. the COPE, also went out to the COPE and stopped all affiliations from us, not to attend any of the seminars or the others. Also to Education International. That's our parent body for all of the teacher unions in the world. We also went right out there. This is quite not good for FTA. He has personally gone out during the time he was on pay with leave. He was doing these damaging messages all around the place.
Repeated attempts to contact Namundu were unsuccessful when this bulletin was prepared. Halofaki says an interim general secretary has been appointed, with the position to be advertised soon. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Education Ministry is willing to take in any child begging on the streets and provide them with proper education. This follows the removal of children from the streets by the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation last week. Akusita Tale has more.
5 children between the ages of 4 and 16 are currently in residential care, receiving their basic needs from the state. The children are supposed to be in school, but were found begging on the streets in Nandi. The Education Ministry will try and assist children in such situations.
We're happy to look at the plight, and if there's any issue with respect to placement in schools, we will come in and assist them.
However, the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation says that there is no reason for a child to be begging as the government is providing free education. Dr. Reddy says his ministry will ensure all children receive quality education.
Whether we have to go and immediately construct a tarpaulin kind of classroom, etc., we'll do that and then construct a proper classroom. We had some cases from Nadi. We instructed our division education officer to go down and ensure that the child gets a school. Buy a tablet, desk and chair and put it in the classroom. But that's our job. And then we'll have to do that.
I think it is good to stop them to asking money. It looks very bad. And one thing, one side you see the country's name is getting bad also. It looks very bad. When the tourist comes, we are here, we are looking every day.
It's good. The government has enforced this so children begging in towns can go to school, probably because their parents couldn't afford their school fees. But there's no excuse now, as government has introduced free education. So they should go to school, as they will get a better job.
That's a
good move by government, as they have to look after the citizens of the country. But the biggest lesson to learn here is that parents fail to play their responsibility.
The children should be educated. This is the policy. I educated my children on my own, and I want other children to be educated too.
Ensuring children receive education will equip them with knowledge and skills that will contribute directly to a better quality of life and alleviate poverty. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The Fijian Parliament delegation has held a series of meetings with its counterparts in London. The delegation met with the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association and the Interparliamentary Union. Secretary-General to the Parliament, Viniana Namosi-Malua, also met with her counterpart in the UK House of Commons. They spoke about the role of the Parliament Secretariat and the processes and procedures used in the Westminster Parliament. The delegation met the Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister John Speller to outline recent developments in Fiji in terms of the election and the operation of Parliament. The delegation heard in particular that the Parliament committees in the UK House of Commons were important forums for allowing MPs to discuss issues in detail, and more consensus between MPs were found in committees than in the Parliament chamber. Coming up after the break, developer of 20-storey building in Suva says the project is still on.
Pula FM nambang dua na serane wasining ona ni batara ni sibiti ko weekend na diwa en na tini na miniti na may pakuriti ore beng grabe na mantang nonongo kanda na dapat ko ani no na kaloko en ay kamen din debo ni na tay wali ni may dapat ko na wani matakabo kan lib serti ko na biser talio ni na namaka do batet may kina na kenan daw ro ko di kanamaki Pula binaka ayo salamilawa do batet kiya wana batara ne wani dio na kaloko moni fikino ba rombuka en ang Pula FM nambang dua en sere
We're back. Work on a $100 million development project that started on McGregor Road in Suva has come to a stop as the contractor awaits further instructions. The site is earmarked for a 20-story building by Fugang Zhao. Ellen Stolz tells us more.
After earthworks were carried out at the site last year, the area has been left idle. Suva City Council Special Administrator Chandu Umaria explains that the work stoppage is not of SCC's doing.
That work is, the plans have been approved. That work is going on. They should finish in the next 4 to 6 months' time.
Owner of the property, Wolfgang Li, is currently in China. In an emailed response to FBC News, he says the development is going according to plan. Despite assurances from the developers and the Suva City Council on the future of the project, it's pretty clear that no work has been done. By our estimations, it has been this way for over 2 months. Other developments around Suva, like this one in Grantham Road, has been stopped.
The one in Rewanga, we have given them a stop work order because they have not done, they have not given the council all the requirements that they're supposed to give, especially the EIA.
The council is now working closely with other investors to ensure that the requirements are met and all projects are implemented successfully. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
The Public Accounts Committee today continued to work its way through the 2007 Auditor General's reports. Discussions today again emphasised recurrent issues such as over-expenditure and improper use of public tenders. One deliberation was on the allocation in 2007 of $152,000 for vaccines for the Republic of the Fiji Military Forces, which was overspent by $79,000. While the over-expenditure was validated by a cabinet decision, the Auditor General queried why the purchase of vaccines was from a private company as opposed to the government pharmacy. PAC Chairman Professor Biman Prasad says the committee is working towards reiterating long-standing issues to ensure effective steps are taken by the Ministry of Finance to address them. It's not only the sun, surf and beaches attracting tourists to Fiji. There's a new niche market in health. More tourists are now seeing Fiji as a place for healing and de-stressing. Chanel Sivan reports.
We travelled 6 kilometres off the King's Road to go to Voli Voli in Raki to meet Swami Maheshwarananda and his devotees. This is his third visit to the country, and this time he has brought 35 devotees, some from as far as Eastern Europe. He believes Fiji is a perfect destination for peace of mind.
Beautiful island, beautiful nature, and people are very humble and very kind people. It delays any kind of criminalities or something. At the airport, people are very friendly. They welcome from their heart. The restaurant or here, people are very friendly. And they are coming from the big cities, metropolitan cities. So they come here and they are very happy.
Swami's teachings are based on yoga philosophy, essence of life and meditation.
It just it reminds you of the beauty of nature, because not everything has been changed by humans, which humans make good changes, but also really take away some of the nature. And here you can connect to that more easily. And yoga is very much about connecting to our true nature.
The devotees are full of praise about the country.
Just looking out here at the vast ocean, and there's less obstacles, there's less distractions, there's less things, even sometimes cell phone reception isn't functioning, and it's really nice not to have all this constant from our west, where we are in Europe, in Australia, is constant. Even 1 hour you can't sit peacefully without somebody calling, do this, do that, quickly come.
Patu Pranam is one of the best, which removes the stiffness of the body.
Swami Maheshwarananda has millions of followers around the world. Most of them are from European countries. He says he is hoping to bring more than 100 devotees on his next visit to Fiji.
I'm from Czech Republic, which is in the center of Europe, and my profession is orthopedic surgeon. I'm mostly dealing with the spine surgeries, and mostly I am doing the scoliotic surgeries. And we are very happy to be here with our master and to perform some yoga and other life techniques in so nice nature.
With a growing number of people overseas looking for answers to life and a more simplistic lifestyle, Fiji could soon become the next destination for wellness tourism. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
We turn to sports now. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up, 6 teams compete in World Rugby Pacific Challenge, and Fijian are confident of an improved performance in Brazil. We'll have the details after the break.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Baban. I hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you. On Gold FM, only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there. Join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM. Only the classic hits.
Six teams will take part in the World Rugby Pacific Challenge, which will be played in Suva from March 10th to the 23rd. Host Fiji A will be joined by their island neighbours Tonga A and Samoa A, Japan Juniors, Argentina Pampers, and newcomers Canada A. The Fiji Rugby Union says the competition, formerly known as the Pacific Rugby Cup, will provide a great platform for local players to put their hands up for Rugby World Cup 2015 selection.
There's more focus on local-based players, on how they perform at another level. Because looking at the competition now, it's just fair brother and Skipper Cup, so it's a one step up from those competitions. So we're playing against the second team from other country. So the boys will showcase how good they are and how they can match the overseas team that are coming in.
The games will be played at the NZ Stadium in Suva. With the Fiji Sevens squad grabbing a lot of attention before the Wellington Sevens, the Telecom Fijiana women's side is silently building up to the Brazil Sevens, which also kicks off next weekend. The side is currently ranked 6th in the Women's World Series, and coach Ilyasa Tainivula is adamant the side can improve from the opening leg in Dubai last year. Tsalen Daudakadaka has more.
Fiji made a fine start to the Women's World Series last year, reaching the plate finals. Coach Ilyasa Tainivula says the players have come out better for that experience and will be hunting for a better finish in Brazil next weekend.
Having a one-on-ones, and it's good to hear, from them what they think, what they felt after last year's leg in Dubai, and it was good to get a lot of positive feedback, and it's something we've just got to work on going forward.
One player Tainivula is hoping will recover from niggling injuries is former skipper Josephine Ngusivalu, who will bring a ton of experience to the squad.
You have experienced players. They're a big bonus to any sports teams. They bring calm and seniority in this squad, and I guess with Josephine is respected with the other team members, and she works hard at training, and the rest of the girls just follow through, and she's in the mix in the 16.
Tainivula will name a 12-member squad for the Brazil Sevens on Friday. With a bit of experience under their belt, the Telecom Fijiana will be out to show the world they mean business. Talendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji 7 squad marched into camp this morning with players getting a last chance to impress national coach Ben Ryan before the final 12-member team is selected. Players have 3 more days to impress and gain selection into the tournament squad, which Ryan says he will name by midday Friday. France-based wing Samisoni Viriviri will join the team tomorrow and is likely to get the nod in the final team, as Ryan wants a strong try-scoring speedster in the side. The team departs on Monday for the Wellington Sevens, which will be played on February 6th and 7th. The Suva football side says defending the Galaxy Premier League title will be a tough ball game. The Whites, which will make its first appearance this season in the league, plays Nandi on Sunday. Suva football coach Gurjit Singh says they will have to work hard to retain their title.
Yes, I would like to say that the league itself will be tough because
because every team wants to play in the old league. The dream of every district is to take the team for the old league. And the other thing is automatic demotion. So we cannot take any team lightly in the national league.
Suva meets Nandi at 2 p.m. on Sunday at Prince Charles Park. Meanwhile, 4 matches will be played in the Galaxy Premier League football competition this weekend. On Saturday, Lambasa meets Lautoka at home, while on Sunday, Rewa plays Mba in Nausori. Suva travels to Nandi to take on the hosts at Prince Charles Park, and Nandrunga hosts Tailevu Naita Siri at Lawanga Park in Singatoka. This will be the second round of the league. FBC Suva Volleyball wants all of its teams to qualify for the Vanua Cup. The Central Eastern Playoffs starts this Thursday in Suva, and the defending champions are hoping that their 4 men's and 3 women's sides make it to the last 16. Rohit there with the details.
Eight places will be up for grabs in the Southern Vulada qualifying tournament this week, as the Central and Eastern Division teams fight for a spot in the Vanua Cup. Defending champions Suva will field 4 men's teams and 3 women's teams in the competition, and officials are hoping that all teams will make it into the tournament in March.
We've been preparing for the last 3 weeks. I believe we've been trying to defend this title again this year. We held it from last year. We won it last year eventually, and our preparation is to defend it. We've got 4 men's team. That is Studi FM, Bull FM, Cool FM, Mirchi for the men's team, and FBC TV is for the women's team. We've got 3 women's team. So we've got a large number of players. So we're feeling that a large number of teams to participate in Vulada. Since it's a qualifying round to Vanua, our main focus is to get these teams up qualifying for Vanua in March.
Last year's champions know they'll be facing a tough challenge to lift the title this year again.
For Suva, the main challenge will be the top Eastern teams. That will be Rewai. We believe have most national reps that have just come back from the Good Neighbor tournament on last November. And we've got other associations like Kinoya, and they are big teams, Kinoya, Rewai. And we've got Viasana coming back. And Suva is always working hard to try, and FBC is trying to defend these titles.
The Vulada playoffs takes place at the National Gymnasium from this Thursday and finishes on Saturday. 8 men's and 8 women's teams will qualify from the event to take part in the Vanua Cup, which will be held from the 6th and 7th of March. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
That was your sports for tonight. Good evening.
Janita Prasad, the Chief Executive for South Pacific Stock Exchange, has resigned. SPSE Chairperson Dr. Nurbano Ali says Prasad is leaving to travel overseas for an extended period of time for professional and personal development. Dr. Ali says Prasad's decision to leave was not easy given her passion for the stock market. During her time at SPSE, Prasad made a significant contribution to the development of the stock market in Fiji. Her resignation comes into effect from April 24th. The recruitment process for the next CEO of the South Pacific Stock Exchange will begin immediately. Generally fine weather conditions prevailed over the country today. An active trough of low pressure remains slow-moving over Tuvalu, Tokelau, Northern Cooks. Meanwhile, another trough of low pressure lies slow-moving over Solomons and extends over to Rotuma, to Wallace, to Samoa, to west of Southern Cooks. Temperatures, as usual, ranged in the 30s, with a high of 32 degrees experienced in Ba. Tomorrow, according to the Weather Office, expect fine and cloudy weather in the AM with brief showers in the afternoon, so be sure to have some wet weather protection. Further outlook, some showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms elsewhere, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots and up to 20 knots through the passages, moderate to rough seas. The main points again: 23 veterans who were on Christmas Island in 1958 during nuclear testing will receive compensation from the government. The Fijian Teachers Association has terminated the services of its General Secretary, Maika Namundu, and the Education Ministry is willing to take in any child begging on the streets and provide them with proper education. To this week's poll question, we're asking, do you support the recognised seasonal employment scheme selection criteria? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. That's all from us here at Broadcasting House. Join me again tomorrow. Good evening.